thanks for joining. I'm Emily, and today we're at the Creighton Business School with Andy Gustafson, who's a professor of business ethics. And today we're going to be talking about pharmaceutical companies in developing countries. So I've heard you've been doing some research on pharmaceutical companies in developing countries. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. What got me interested in it first was I did a paper in Iran about in 2008 at the University of Tehran, and it was about how pharmaceutical companies market their products in developing countries like Pakistan, India, Venezuela, China, those places. In the United States, we have a lot of rules. Now doctors can't get free stuff. It used to be pharmaceutical companies would try to get doctors to use their drug by giving them sometimes cash, by buying them steak dinners, by doing different sorts of things, giving them prizes for using their drug. But what's now not done in the United States, they are doing in these developing countries. And so there's some ethical questions there in terms of that incentivizing of the drug. So in Pakistan, for example, a doctor might get a free air conditioner if he gives out 200 doses of or 200 prescriptions of a certain drug. Might even get a down payment for a new car. You get different sorts of medical equipment. And so we might think, well, that's bad, because it can lead to doctors prescribing things when it's not really necessary, over-prescribing or misprescribing, because they're trying to get as much of that drug prescribed as possible, so they get a free air conditioner. But on the other hand, it's really hot in Pakistan. They need air conditioners. It's something that's very useful for the doctor to have. One of the more beneficial ones, I think, is in Venezuela. Pfizer makes deals with doctors. They'll sometimes fix up their doctor clinic. They'll come in and give them a computer and internet service, and then the doctor can go online to telemedicine, which is a Pfizer site, and they can say, here's the problems with my patient. It'll give them a diagnosis of it, and then tell them what drug they should maybe use. Of course, it'll be a Pfizer drug, so there's a bias there in the information they get. But in my opinion, it's better for them to have biased information there than to have no information at all. And so maybe they're mostly prescribing Pfizer drugs, but that's better. I mean, they can still find out about the generic stuff on their own. They know enough to find that out. But it's a pretty useful service from Pfizer for doctors who are out in rural areas of Venezuela. And I think eventually, once the market develops and there's enough people buying pharmaceutical drugs in Venezuela, other pharmaceutical companies will come in, and then there'll be more competition, and eventually the market will even out. At the beginning, if it's biased in favor of one pharmaceutical over another, and one of the ways they get doctors to get on board and start using more modern drugs is through these sort of gifts, I don't necessarily see that to be a problem. It might be in some cases, but in itself, it's not a problem.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.